might be struggling right now, but if you compare your struggles to now, to how far you've come, that it should remind you that you got here, you can get to
the next level.
There's so much pressure through the social media, and all you see is the wins. That it's very easy to become very disenfranchised of yourself and feel like I failed. Everybody else is winning and I am losing.
It's the last time.
I know. We finally made it happen, man.
Seeing her work and try that hard with all of those things going against her, I think it's something that makes me think like with being like able-bodied, with not having those things, that I haven't got any excuse.
He's a fit man.
But to be fair, I have done that one before.
You have a vision and you make it come to life in terms of the look and the design of it. Nah, this is very, 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 very nice.
When you're younger, it's like when we look at what you have to offer somebody, you know, one of the biggest things you have when you're young is time. I wasn't in a hole where it was too deep to get out.
Okay.
I just needed to put the work in.
Yeah. On today's show, we have our guest, Property by Kazy. It's also known as Kazim. Some people call you Kaz. To our knowledge, you've been a property developer for about 10 years. You've had about 50 projects, if that. I think I'm being a bit kind of, I think it's more. You've done about 20 million in gross development value. There's so many on my list I can think of, about 1 million in assets and about 5 million in assets actually, and 1 million in private equity. These are things I could just keep on naming, and these are inspiring, I don't know, accolades and achievements. I just want to salute you and thank you for your time to join us today, to just even have a conversation with us today.
Thank you. Yeah. Mr. Kazim. Firstly, which one do you prefer? Secondly, who is Kazy?
I'm easy. I can be Kazy, Kazim. If you know me for a long time, it might be Kaz. More recently, business, kind of professional, Kazim. And then, you know, the online sort of presence / the number plate might be like, yo, Kazy. So just really, or just randomly, yo, you're that property guy. that's the new.
Imagine that though. Getting called that property guy.
But in terms of who I am, like, you know, like I'm a businessman, an entrepreneur. I'm a property investor and developer. I'd say it's probably where I'd say my titles are. More recently, I've been told to say as well that I'm a content creator in the property space.
That's right.
Yeah, I would say those things. Amazing attributes. All these things that you're stating are great stuff, and I know that, like, from my time knowing you, you've done numerous things, especially now property, do you say, and it just makes me understand that, like, what actually fuels your drive, like what?
I think, like, so growing up, myself, my younger sister, when my sister was young, when she was like 2, she had a stroke. So when she had a stroke, it caused her like epilepsy, learning difficulty. She was paralyzed like down her left side, lost like 50% of her vision. But like she never stopped trying, like through everything. Like she made sure that she decided, like whatever age it was, like at 11, that she wanted to go to mainstream school. She didn't want to go anywhere else. She left school, wasn't able to read and write, but still went back and kind of taught herself to read and write. Wow. And I just look at someone like that and I say, you've got so many things that are going against you, like, and you're still always working. Like, had an option, she would have got more money going on benefits and disability allowance. But I said, I'm not doing none of that. Like, I want to work. So I think, obviously, seeing her work and try that hard with all of those things going against her, I think it's something that makes me think that with being like able-bodied, with not having those things, that I haven't got any excuse.
That's powerful, man. You know, because sometimes we all look for inspiration from somewhere, but the inspiration could be right in your front door. Do you get what I mean? And it just takes a little something. But that's amazing. So was it that then that made you go and do property, or was it that thought, you know what, tap into yourself more?
In terms of doing property, I guess like, growing up is something that we understand. Like, as everybody needs somewhere to live. It's tangible. You can physically touch it. Like with a lot of different investments, you know, they don't necessarily make sense straight away. But I never grew up thinking, oh, I'm gonna, like, when I'm older, I want to get into property. I had other businesses first, and I think I was an entrepreneur first that then found my passion. So whether that be with early on businesses like in the shisha space to going into property, it was just finding something that you like to focus on has always been my key.
Nah, that's just to kind of touch on that topic as well. you talked about your sister. Like, was anything? Because I'm of Nigerian descent, so I'm assuming you are as well. And back in the culture is very strict in terms of like education. Would you say you being from a Nigerian background that was also added into you going to learn certain things that you learn along the way, or did that fuel your drive in any way whatsoever? Was it just your sister?
No, I think that, so in terms of being that Nigerian, I think there's a lot of stuff that culturally has been really beneficial to me. Some of the stuff might have even gone the opposite way. So for example, when I went to university the first time, it probably wasn't the right time for me. And I was probably going for my parents. I ended up dropping out. So I think it is important, you have to understand your own journey and do things that are at the right time for
I
you.
agree.
Everybody's journey is different.
Yeah.
But saying that, like, a lot of the family values that are installed, even things down to like understanding kind of money management and like the concept of, in like sort of Nigerian culture, your first paycheck, whether it be at 15 or 50, like you give back to the family. So that made me understand the importance of reinvesting money when you get it rather than spending it straight away.
Sorry to interrupt you. It's funny you say that, because again, I want to just say African culture, like we got this thing of whereas money goes up, and in most other cultures the money goes down, if you know what I mean. They invest more in their kids, or and sometimes this can change someone, not to, it doesn't give them drive, it can make them resent or not even sometimes want, like, get comfortable in a sense, whereas you use that thing of money going up, like invest back into the family to drive to fuel you more. So it's funny you say that, because not a lot of people have that mentality in terms of money going up wealth wise.
Yeah, I think it's like, it's a flow rather than looking at it as money going up or money going down. It's money going full circle.
Okay.
If you look at like a lot of cultures, particularly like the Jewish culture, of keeping money within a circle and using it so it gets spent multiple times. Like if you take your family as an independent ecosystem, if you're investing in your family, like it gives you those opportunities. So whether that be the opportunity to employ family members, my sister included, and then seeing things like that. But like my dad sort of came to England as like a first generation like migrant, so, and like he like proper looked up to my dad as a role model. Like he qualified as a solicitor whilst sort of can't remember what the market was, but selling wares at the market, doing mini cabin in Brixton. It worked mad cool to be African, like he lived like Jamaica, Brixton, so doing all of that. But I think I always kind of had conversations with him, and I looked at it like, if he's come here, like it's just like a relay race, like he's taken it this far, and then you take the baton and you go and run with it and see how you can elevate.
Love that. You've touched on, you mentioned little things like Brixton, whatever. I personally want to know as well, your upbringing, like where you're from. Obviously you mentioned from Nigeria, but like area wise.
Obviously it's a Nigerian mixture. My mum's English and Welsh. Went to Wales for the first time recently. Wales is kind of lit, so we got Wales.
It's lit. What would you say is lit about Wales?
I went to Wales and I was expecting like, I don't know how to say it. I was being ignorant, but I was just expecting fields. Sometimes we don't travel within the UK. But I've gone there and I'm in Cardiff, and I was like, there was vibes, like like stakeout in Northern, stakeout in Wales. The brothers that were running stakeout.
There was stakeout in Wales.
In Cardiff.
Nah, you're lying.
Afterwards,
What?
I spoke to some young boys. They shared me some Welsh rappers. I said, yo.
Okay, yeah. And what's that rapper that raps? And isn't he from like Welsh or something like that? Or Wales or?
What you realise is sometimes whatever's going on here and what we're experiencing, people are experiencing everywhere. So you'll see the Welsh rap, the Scottish rap, the Australian rap.
So yeah, Nigerian and Welsh area wise.
So area wise, sort of Crystal Palace, Penge, Beckenham, so very local. But I was in sort of Tulse Hill for a little while, and then West London when I was at uni.
Okay, and then in terms of education, where did you end it at?
So I actually went to college, did like an extra year there, went to uni, dropped out, and that was kind of a moment where I looked at it and I was like, don't really know where my life was heading, but did end up actually going back to uni. And although I've never sort of practically used a degree in terms of gone out and got a job, the skills that I learnt there, not just the skills in the degree, but the skills of taking something and going full circle, like beginning, middle to end, I think has been really beneficial in terms of my sort of my business life cycle.
Yeah,
as well.
of course, yeah. Okay. So you've done the uni thing and whatnot. What was the pinnacle moment for you to say, it's property I want to do?
I think it was like a driver that pushed me into property. So when I mentioned I dropped out of uni and I did an extra year of college. So you know, like when you grow up, like everything's kind of very standardized. Like so you go to school with all your friends. Then you go to secondary school with all your friends. Then if you go to college, you go to college with all your friends. And in uni, it's the same thing. But because I did the extra year at college, then did 2 years and dropped out. By the time I dropped out of uni, my friends now have graduated. So they've got good jobs. They're on the grad scheme. They've got company cars and stuff. Or the ones that didn't go to university or did like apprenticeships, they've got 3-4 years of work experience. Elevated as well. And I was like, I was working in phones for you at the time. You know, I was like looking at it like, I've kind of really messed this up. I've kind of gone to my dad, like I've just dropped out of uni. I've obviously had to go and tell him, like, oh, like, kind of what should I do? And he kind of looked at me like
Pause on that one there, because I definitely, you know, myself and probably a lot of listeners, that's the pinnacle moment there. I don't want us to just switch over. See that point when you respectively thought I failed or I'm not like my
Yeah,
peers?
yeah, that's
Like,
deep.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure, I know I felt like that.
I think most of us have felt like that.
Let's hone in on that. Like, what was that feeling like?
I just feel like it's particularly, I don't think it was as much at the time, but I'd even think about what it's like for people now. Like there's so much pressure through the social media and all you see is the wins. That it's very easy to become very disenfranchised with yourself and feel like I failed. Everybody else is winning and I am losing. And I think even though it wasn't as prevalent with the social media, that's how I felt, because even as men, we communicate a lot less to say like how we're feeling, what like our emotional state is, when we need support. So I think I was just looking at it like everyone's doing well and I've messed this up. And I think it was like maybe in hindsight, I think for people that are listening, it's never that bad. It wasn't as make or break as I thought it was.
Would you say it's all in your head?
I wouldn't say, I think you need to work. You know, they always say like, you know, hard work.
Of course.
But it, you know, you can do something about it. I wasn't in a hole where it was too deep to get out.
Okay.
I just needed to put the work in. But I think that moment where I spoke and I said that, like I spoke to my dad and he kind of turned around and, you know, ironically, maybe it was that sort of tough love, but he was like, you're a man now, like, what are you doing? I hear it, because if you would have babied me at that point, and said, oh, like, son, come and do this, you can do that, or just say, don't worry about it, then I wouldn't have worried. But the fact that I had to worry, I had to come up with a solution. And then that was what kind of spurred me. And I'm not saying straight away, I was like, right, I'm a businessman. I probably, like, my go-to reaction when stuff's super stressful is to go to bed like a child. Remember, like, if you knew, like, you was getting a mad letter or you got suspended and that was coming.
You just go to bed early. You go to bed, you avoid the licks.
So I think that was kind of easy. I was like, okay, let me just go to bed. But you wake up and it's like, the problem's still here because you are adult. It's not just gonna, you can't just sweep away your problems. And just, you know, I said, let me try and focus on things. And that was where I started my first business, was the shisha business.
Shisha local, right?
Before we go on to that though, a lot of people struggle with the first step. So you, like, whether it's depression or like how you was feeling, what was your first step?
I think
to get out the rut.
I couldn't now go back and tell you what my first step is, but for like now in terms of a coping mechanism, is break down these big goals and like compartmentalize them. Because if you're saying, okay, look, I'm trying to get from here to France, like I don't even know, like I don't know where my passport is, I don't know this, I don't know that. So many things that like you just say, I can't do it. But if you say, okay, you know what, well, like I've got a pack. I've got to work out how much a flight is. I've got to work out how much money I need for the flight. You can work out all those baby steps. And then in terms of how you feel yourself, if you've compartmentalized and broken down big tasks into micro, daily achievable tasks, when you look at yourself in the mirror in the evening, you say, okay, I've done something today, and you go to bed feeling happier.
No, that's a. I hope people are listening to that, man. breaking down the task. That's amazing. I'm gonna even try that myself. You know.
Jot down some stuff myself.
Yeah, I might try that. You know, the things that you think, just kind of break it down. That's a
Good analogy.
bro.
Hello, my mate.
I did the last time.
I know. We finally made it happen, man.
No, man. Hey, listen, this is lovely. You know, just even be here today to see this.
It's finally looking lovely,
know,
man. When
I
I
know.
bought it, to
Yeah.
be fair, even up till 2 days ago, you wouldn't even be able to see it. It was just hoarding, so like had the boards all the way up, all the way around, just protecting the site. We're finally getting there. So
Wait, so what point here till the boards come out? Like, when do you actually drop that down?
I mean, realistically, when the site's secure, so we're like up until a couple of days ago, there was no front doors or nothing. Like, windows weren't in yet, so it was open, so we had to keep the site secure.
Okay, you know, I've always wondered that when I'm going around, I'm thinking, hold on, at what point do they drop it? Now that gives an understanding of it. So no, today, listen, thank you for your time. I appreciate it as always. You're gonna actually, if you can, just talk to me about what's going on in here in the property you've done. And you said you also done one that's like almost done or almost 99% finished.
So this is a conversion. So that means we're taking the existing dwelling and we're converting it to multiple dwellings. This is going to be 2 flats, so it's a residential conversion. I actually bought this property as a repossession, which means we bought it from a bank from somebody who was unfortunately repossessed. At the time it was being used to grow weed, so it's completely run down, ripped out everything, and we're basically taking that property and we're going to convert it to 2 flats. So I'll show you the ground floor, which is where we're kind of mid-construction, hope to be sort of done and dusted in the next 6 to 8 weeks, and I can show you the top floor that we're basically 99% of the way there on.
Nah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look. So going back to what you were talking about, which is the shisha. Why shisha?
You know, I went to Egypt in, I want to say like 2009 maybe.
They got you, yeah?
And it was early, but it was like, I don't drink. So it was like, for me, it was like something that, okay, cool, it was new. Like I enjoyed it, it was social, so I liked it in the first place. So I had that initial kind of passion for it, you can say. But then also, again, going back to like the key concepts of maybe things I don't realise. Now I think they start teaching business studies at like year 9, I think. These basic premises like SWOT analysis, like sort of strengths, opportunities and threats. The smoking ban had come into play maybe sort of 5 years prior. So you had all these big nightclubs, smokers have to smoke. It's an addiction of creating these lavish outdoor smoking areas. So I was approaching them and saying, okay, look, you know what, I want to do shisha in these areas. It's a USP for you, it's a win-win. I'll charge the customer, you don't pay me anything, I don't pay you anything, and you've got, so it was kind of like, I got in at the time where there was opportunities. I managed to kind of be able to quell what they saw as some of the threats or some of the issues, and got in and started working with some of the biggest nightclubs in like, you know, the UK. And from there it's just a case of, well, if you've got a business, you grow it. So we started doing like the festivals, but again, I was still having a really good time. I'm telling the bros, like, listen, I got this festival. Like, everyone wants tickets to the festival. I'm still young. So money like that. So like, listen, I got you lot all free tickets. All you gotta come and do is like work for me for like 3-4 hours. Some sheets, you help me do some stuff. They get to do, so we was doing those, and they were doing really well. You know, we were making like, you know, good money, like especially for that age, like maybe £3,000 a day doing.
That's a decent amount. What age was that?
I think I was like 22.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
You're laughing.
Yeah.
Literally.
So that leads me to ask the question: was it the capital from the shisha that you thought, you know what, I'm gonna transition into property?
So basically from there, got the bar, had the Buddha Lounge with Shisha Loco. That was making money, and it's kind of, I learned some stuff about property in there, in that we had like a license to trade as opposed to a lease. Now in that commercial space, a license to trade means you can operate, but it's very much like a tenancy agreement. They could just give you notice, so you can't really invest in the business further. So I was building something that wasn't really a long-term asset. It could have been taken away from me. I then looked at, okay, what can I put this money in that I'm making that I have more control over? And it was, it was property.
So with the property, did you just thought, I'm just gonna go buy my first house, or did you just think, I've got the cash now? And how did that start? Like, okay, you had the cash and you thought, I've got this knowledge. What was?
So like a lot of people ask me sort of question in property, and I think, it depends. You have to look at it depends what kind of person you are, because now there is like plethora of information out there, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, like, you know, all of the so many different places you can go and get information on. Wasn't maybe as much at the time, like Facebook was still quite prevalent. But sort of being dyslexic as well, I think I've always found I'm a more active learner. Like I've got to do stuff. I need to look at things and be like, take me round, let me talk to you, let me look at this. So examples and stuff. I kind of like started talking to people in the property space already that were doing it. Kind of being like just around other developers like and seeing what they were doing. Shadowing, like make yourself useful, because when you're younger, it's like when we look at what you have to offer somebody, you know, one of the biggest things you have when you're young is time. So if you can offer somebody your time, like it's one of the best ways to getting into an industry. Like my intern right now, I haven't got time to run that. I can't even operate TikTok sometimes. Like he came to me and was like, I really want to understand property. Like I'll do your TikTok for free if you know I can do things. So it's like kind of finding those trade-offs, and that's kind of how I was able to learn and said, look, I need to go and do this. You've got to start. You know, you don't want to get stuck in like they call it like analysis paralysis, where you're always looking at things but never doing anything.
Yeah, before we go inside, I thought I'd just show you out here. One of the things with conversions is you've got to get new service in. That's new gas, new electric, new water. If you are doing a development or hoping to do one, that's one of the things I'd say get done really early, because some of them have lead times of up to 16 weeks. So the cool thing about this one is both of the flats have their own entrances, which is really good in terms of value. You're not sharing with anybody, you haven't really got to worry about your neighbours. It's like having your own space. You come in from your own front door, you've got a brand new set of stairs that we put in to go into the third bedroom. Here is going to be 2 glass doors with black frames that open out into the luxury open plan kitchen, living room. Sofa will be set just back here. Got a media wall over here, and then like a little desk / niche area. It's always nice to have like a working space. Kitchen along this wall here. It's going to be an island to sit up to 5 people to eat. You then got the skylight for natural light, and then 2 sets of sliding doors. You will open out this way and this way. So in terms of entertaining, you'll kind of have that outside, inside living. So for barbecues, Sunlight will create a really nice entertainment space.
You got a skylight as well, so that's.
Yeah, like the thing with natural light is you can never have enough of it. So if you've got an opportunity to put one in, I would always say go for it.
Okay, was that already there, or did you have to?
No. So this whole space, like where we're standing in now, is all a new addition. So this side extension, this rear extension. So it's basically like it's called like a side return, which means you come out to the side and also wrap all the way around.
Wow. That's amazing. So I'm guessing when you come out to these sites, you have like a site manager, or do you have to like prioritize what site you visit depending on what's happening?
Yeah, so it depends. Like early on, I used to what's called project manage individual trades. So that means you take your plumber, your electrician, your carpenter, and you bring them all together. You agree either price work or day rates, and then you manage them. And effectively, obviously, that's good for saving money, but in the long term, it's not really scalable. So as we grow, we start to now have like fully like just contractors that come in, like, you know, full build teams that come in, and they effectively have the site managers in place. And I'm just dealing with them at high level decision making.
That makes perfect sense, because it gives an insight to if you have a lot going on, especially if you have several projects, as to how you prioritize and how you kind of figure out whether one needs your attention.
Like whether it's several projects or whether it's a case of you work a full-time job and you're flipping properties on the side, you know that your focus has got to be your 9 to 5. Because that's what's kind of bread and butter. So then you then would maybe say, look, you know what, I'm happy to make a little bit less money, but obviously be more stress-free.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's amazing. So you got the house, you got the kitchen, obviously this new apartment built, you got the sliding doors, and you have the outside. I'm guessing this is going to be just like a small seating area or like a patio area.
Yeah, like a nice little just outside. It's always a bonus. Like one thing COVID taught us was the benefit of private outside space. And not only is it nice for people, but for us as developers, it also pushes up the prices as well, which is great.
Of course, that's lovely. All right, cool. Let's have a look at some other rooms in the house.
Kaz, you know, like everything we spoke about is great in terms of business and that, you know, and it looks amazing from the outside. Like I'm really enjoying this conversation, but I know that there's been some ugly moments, whether it was Shisha, whether it was the properties, and I really want to tap into that. And I definitely know Daniel does.
Of course.
Our viewers will. I want to know these dark moments. I want to know the L's. I want to know the times that you felt like you wanted to give up. I really want to know. I saw a quote 2 days ago, and it said, we're a sad generation with just loads of happy pictures. And it hit me, because it's true. Like you said previously, we only post the wins. So let's talk about the L's.
I think that obviously they've come in terms of it just struggles. I wouldn't say necessarily like the financial L's, but the times when stuff gets a lot harder than it should be. I mean, we're talking like I'm in property right now.
Okay.
Interest rates have gone from like 0.5%. They're kind of maybe potentially pushing up to 5% over by the end of the year. So what that means is like I get letters through the door. If you own 20 properties, that means your monthly outgoings could just because of that, through no fault of your own, go up by £5,000-10,000 a month. But I think it's always about like whether it's about business or just preparing in life. Like you do have to do risk mitigation, and I'm naturally quite risk adverse. So I think I take steps to try and like proactively just look at what could potentially happen. Again, it really takes me again like back to that SWOT analysis, like where potentially are the threats to my to my business. But we see it all the time, like during COVID, like when I was running like a rent-to-rent business, a business that was making £10,000-20,000 a month to losing that same amount a month. Because if you're like providing accommodation for people that maybe primarily are in like service-facing sectors, like customer service, retail, etc., and they're hit by COVID, they don't have a way to pay their rent. So you have to look at that, and there's things like that. But again, it's just how do you prepare, and how do you not only even if you prepare, and they say like the adage of everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. It's that same kind of thing in business. Yeah. Like everyone's got like all these plans and all these things that you want to do, but it's not just about how you plan for it, but also how you bounce back from those setbacks.
I had a moment last year where like a lot of things, everything felt a bit overwhelming because there's a lot of there's a lot of pots I have my hands in at the moment, and I had my thing because I'm someone that you can say what in a perfectionist or just want to make sure that what you've envisioned or what you see or the end goal comes the way it comes, and I had a moment where I was just trying to kind of just make sure that it gets there, and I felt kind of what's the word you're gonna look at you? What was the word you'd say? I felt overwhelmed. Is it overwhelmed? Like I wouldn't say depressed or anything, but everything was just too much because I was trying to control everything so much. I didn't have the control over everything as I thought I did.
So I think for me, that definitely resonates with me because that sometimes you feel like I feel like I'm a perfectionist. I feel like I'm really super anal when it comes to doing business. But like the reality is, the more you grow, the more to-dos you have. And every time you tick something off, like you can have 100 emails, you reply to all of them, you're going to get probably 110 replies.
Back,
but it's, again, like when we spoke about it earlier, about just enjoying those steps of actually getting stuff done. You're never going to just have a blank canvas of everything done. And the sooner you realize that, the clearer your mind will be. Like there's nothing wrong with having ongoing tasks as long as you're not drowning in them. And if you feel like you are, it's looking at the type of people that you can employ, because if you're the smartest person and the best person at everything in your business, like your business only has the capacity of you. But if you outsource and go and employ people and work with people, then you're spreading that burden of responsibility. I remember that when I didn't have a PA and I didn't have an EA and I didn't have like a project manager and all these things, I was doing everything. And then I look at it and I was doing all of these roles, and then I was wondering why I was drowning.
Yeah. This completed version, or you said it's about 99%?
Like we're 99%. Like carpets came in today, a few little bits. Like where the carpets join, the flooring, need the ball noses. So I'll show you quickly here. So we've got a guest toilet. I like this. We went for the guest toilet and then 2 ensuite rooms, which means you kind of got that privacy, got that new build feel, which is good. But because the building is a period building,
now this is looking sweet.
Went for like the herringbone style flooring, cast iron radiators, the black featured doors, nice paneling behind.
I can see the paneling behind it.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah. All right. So we got ensuite shower room. Just here.
Okay, this is lovely.
Ensuite shower room, little niche with the lights again.
With the black.
The black on black, marble feel, and then sort of some nice matte tiles there as well.
So you got a feature to the back.
Yeah. Then behind you is bedroom number 2, master bedroom, really good size. I think one thing I try and do is when I create these properties, I try and have like an end buyer or end user in mind, and also a design spec. So have obviously the black sockets with the radiators matching with like
I was going to speak to you about that briefly, because this is entering the space. It's a very nice design and texture to it. So are you also the designer? when you come to creating, or do you have like a designer that?
So generally I've got like a mood board. So it's like my social media is like property. So if you scroll through like my Explorer page, it's just like properties, houses, it's kitchens, it's bathrooms. So I see stuff and you just save it. You just save that like, yeah, cool. I see something. It's like a competition. Like see the people that love the gym, they'll see a man just and they'll be like, alright, yeah. Like I'm gonna. Or you'll see someone do a mad workout, like a mad burpee session. You'll be like, I'm gonna try that one. So I'll see like a bathroom and I'll be like, okay, cool. Like so, even going on holiday, like spending time in Dubai and certain bathrooms, I saw them and I said, yeah, we can bring that to London. So like little things like even this, the bathroom. Some of the stuff that we went for here, again, always had it in my mind to use these kind of heritage colours, but mix it with like the brass.
No, this is lovely. Is that like an interactive mirror?
Yeah, so you got the, like when you're using a shower, it's gonna steam up. So you got the things that automatically doesn't steam up.
Okay. That's nice.
Then, you got like the lighting in the mirror as well.
The ladies will love that one, you know.
Like that, man. This is a selfie-ready mirror, man.
The ladies will love
it.
No, this is beautiful. No, I like the take on it. So it's even amazing that you even think of that. You have a vision and you make it come to life in terms of the look and the design of it. Nah, this is very, 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 very nice. In terms of being overwhelmed, obviously because I know what that feels like. How did you get out of that? How did you come out of feeling overwhelmed when everything felt on top?
I think it's realizing that you're never gonna tick off all your to-dos. You're never gonna have everything done. It's never gonna be perfect day one, but you have to keep doing. And I think another thing is actually like when you're overwhelmed, a lot of the time it's because you're being very hard on yourself and saying like I haven't done this and I haven't done that. And it's like sometimes I can relate, like because I'm, like I said, practical. I have to see things. So I remember, like, and I always think about this moment, like just being out in like LA, and I don't know if you ever seen like Runyon, like it's sick, but it's like walking up. It's like it's tiring, but it's so you can walk up and you can be looking at how far you still gotta go, and it just looks like it's gonna go on forever. But then you take a second and you turn around and you look back. And you can see the whole of like LA, and you can see how far you've come. And I think if you remember that moment in real life, like you might be struggling right now, but if you compare your struggles to now, to how far you've come, that it should remind you that you got here, you can get to the next level. You can, reach where you want to get to.
That's crazy,
Power.
Ray, I think someone else is coming and taking your coats over,
The gem that he dropped a minute ago was it was a crazy one. It'll come back to me, but it was mad, like, but because it was in combo, I was just flowing, but it was mad. It'll come. But with all of that, like, I want to hear the down moments if there is any.
I will ask a question. I would say is like, have there been any moments where, surely there has, in terms of property when you're doing these things, there's normally moments like that, but is there any moments where you invested big and lost big, or is there most whereas there was a time where you could have lost everything?
So I'd say that naturally, like I'm very risk adverse, so I don't like to take a lot of risk. So because of that, I think I could have maybe made, been 10 times as far on my journey. But there's a lot of things where I've had opportunities. Like I remember early on, like I think 2015, somebody said, look, we've seen what you've done, we'll give you millions. And I said, look, I don't really want that right now. I'm not ready for that. So I think I've maybe stunted some of my own growth, but again, potentially preserve some of my own peace of mind.
Maybe it's just me personally, and this is something that draws me close to you because you can act so much different based on your success and what you've achieved. However, you have this humility and humbleness about yourself, whereas I don't know, like you stated in the conversation, you said you could have easily invested more or take on an opportunity that could make you more money. Well, you seem to keep it humble. Why is that? What makes you that way? Because a lot of people, when they get money or whatever the case may be, they want more, or they're looking for that next thing that's gonna make them more or get them bigger. Why don't you portray that sort of nature?
I mean, I appreciate your kind words, but I think for me, like the money's great, like, and no one like saying I don't want the money that comes with it, you know. But it's not all about that. There's things within doing business, you know. There's the things that drive me to keep going aren't that I can go and buy a nice jacket or go and buy a nice car. It's like that whole thing of, do you remember I said, oh, you're that property guy? Yeah. You're that property guy. That's not where it ends. It's normally followed by you're that property guy. And by the way, me and my wife actually bought our first house because we watched this podcast. You sat down with us and you did this. Like even today, like I remember I was just in the gym and this girl was just talking to me about, you know, I can't buy a property now or X, Y, Z. And I kind of just gave her a little bit of information. And then she sent me a message saying, oh, by the way, I just exchanged on my property, and it's because of the conversation.
That's nice, man.
So it's like little drivers and those things that I think are where I find my motivation more so.
That's crazy.
That's sick. That goes on to my next question for you. It's like, all right, if I'm a young lad and I want to buy a house, you know, got a new missus, got a little money there, why should I come to Kazy? Like, there's so many property people, estate agents, whatever. Why should I come to Kazy? What makes you different?
I think if you're coming to me from an advice perspective, it's because generally speaking, I'm not really selling anything. Okay. So like, I think for me, integrity has always been, you know, like the sort of pinnacle of my key values. So I think you're going to get the honest information. So for example, if you come to me and I'm selling maybe some new build flats that I've done, and you say, oh, like, this is what I'm looking at, I might turn around and say, I don't think this is the best investment opportunity for you. So you're gonna get like more honest, transparent advice of somebody who's actually been there and done it. Because in the property space, you know, I've done bits of everything, whether it's rent to rent, whether it's new build accommodation, whether it's airspace developments, whether it's conversions, you know, renovations and sort of everything in between. So I can give you my honest take from what I genuinely believe I think is going to be potentially best for you.
Okay.
That's crazy, because you spoke about integrity and doing things that fulfill you. And to my knowledge, I think it's nice when I was researching this and I saw this and you said you named the building after your nan. Yeah. So what? Talk to me about that, please.
So that was one of like my earlier projects, and it was like when you look at things that you can actually do, like, you know, milestones and what kind of makes you feel fulfilled. Like it's great, like, you know, making the money, but you can spend it, you can have it, you can reinvest it, you can never really see it. But the idea of like, you know, a family member, like a loved one, particularly maybe one that's passed away, that you can immortalize them like in the streets of London, it's like something that nobody can ever take away. So even if you look at like, you can have the money, you can lose the money, but that's there. I had a friend who we lost unfortunately, and we've now got a development in Croydon that's going to be named after him. So in terms of like just being able to do things like beyond just for yourself, or, you know.
Have you named other buildings have you named other buildings
So
with?
I've got 2 buildings like, named after my late grandmother, and I've got this one coming up that's going to be named after my friend.
Okay, are you planning to name any more after?
I mean, yeah. Do you know what though? They don't like so.
What, mom, dad? No.
After my grandma, I sent the thing off and they said like they have a limit to how many names you can have in an area. So they said, oh, got to pick something else. So I'm thinking, I'll keep.
Yeah, no, that's nice. That's nice.
On family, you know, obviously your nan. You know, usually when people, you know, make it successful, there's a lot of friends and family members that want to bring in, and they usually want just cash and whatever. Have you ever brought anyone in, and if so, how? Have you done it through cash, or have you brought them into the business and given them roles?
I think with meeting people, like, and people that, I think it's always like a value proposition. So there's only so much you can do in terms of helping people. Obviously, like people like my sister that now work with me, other friends and family who I do business alongside. But I wouldn't necessarily say bring in, but work alongside and we elevate together. So when I talk about my accountant, we went to school together, we've known each other for 20 plus years. My solicitor, we was at university together. My architect, I've known since I was 15. Like, and I had faith in him to do bigger projects than he'd done starting out. And likewise, then he did kind of the same for me as he grew. So you're growing alongside each other, but you both have like that, you know, that you both want each other to win. So I think that's key. But saying that, I wouldn't say just work with friends and family for the sake of it, because the more you do, the more successful you are, the more you're able to actually help those loved ones around you as well.
No, I hear that.
No, and you know what, when you say like growing together. Yeah, I wish. I think I see it a lot more now in our culture, but we still a lot of strides ahead. Because sometimes a lot of people just want to feel like, you know what, I've worked so hard, I've done this by myself, kind of thing. But in the journey, when you're going through, there's quite a few more people doing it like yourself. So I find that amazing. Is there any other like things that you've done with your family? Is it just like your sister that you work with? Is there other family members do you work with, or is there other things that you've done for them?
So I still work, you know, with my dad as well. Do bits with him, but also I think in terms of doing stuff for them, I think like nice moments. I think it was like pre-pandemic, as just like a treat. I think I took away. I think it was like about 25 of us.
25.
Yeah, like we just
20.
Got that flights, accommodation, got a big villa.
That is good.
Jacuzzi, but it's like it was so nice that everyone was together. And when I talk about like I got to take away my cousin, like my uncle, like a close family passed away when he was young, early 30s, 4 young children. I got to take them away with me, and it's like being able to do stuff for people that you want to be able to help, because we all get busy and we all wish we could do more than we do for everyone. Yeah. So like those moments where you can bring people together, I think.
So really my next question: what do you value? Now, because just hearing you speak, you don't talk about valuing money and making more. So what is it that you value?
No, I like money, but you know. But I think like everybody, like, you know, because it's a trade, but we like money because of what it can facilitate. It facilitates options. It facilitates like the ability to help people. I think integrity is really high up in terms of people being able to look at me and say, okay, that's someone that does what they say.
So holding yourself to your word. Yeah, understood.
Cool. That's the business side of things, but what do you do away from business? What does Kazy do in his spare time?
No, I do like, so I stay busy, like gym, like I like a lot of sports. I think it sounds very generic, everyone says I like sports, but I do, like I like sports. I like
specifics. What sports?
I'll beat you at a lot of sports.
Beat me?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh wait, are you good?
I'm a man that will beat you at a lot of sports.
Oh, badminton.
Like,
Badminton. You see,
you know people that know me.
you see, badminton in school, yeah, that's one thing. Okay, football, I know everyone's skills levels are different, but badminton, because I got endurance, I'm not losing at that game.
You got that.
Badminton is
offline.
Listen.
Okay, call his friends. you know who you can call.
Yeah, what?
I'm saying,
we need to get a game then.
Like, decathlon. Like, you can just name 10 sports.
And you're there.
And I'm there. And I've got you.
You might have to take this offline, you know.
I know.
I like to travel a lot. Like I don't know how many countries I've been to, but probably maybe 40 countries that I've travelled to. Enjoy travelling. Yeah.
How do you find the balance between the two?
I think a lot of the time I use, because being an entrepreneur or a businessman, your mind is constantly like just full, it's like buzzing, like it's like this constant noise. Yeah. So the things that I do, like if you're like in the middle of like whether it's a competitive badminton match, 5-a-side, you can't be thinking about business. So they help you switch off. So I think same kind of with traveling to a degree, having some peace where you're away from your phone a little bit, and then just little things like with your friends, whether it's like poker, like things like that where you're having to focus. Yeah. Also, I think if I wasn't a property developer, I would have been a gamer.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favourite game?
Call of Duty.
See them games there, man. See, I buy that game every year, and I'm dead. Yeah, man. But I buy it every year. I buy it every year, and I'm gonna practice, and it doesn't work out. But none.
How do you? What do you do? What's your thing? What's your vice? What's your away from business go to?
I would say I like sports. So if it's not watching it, playing some sort of sport in some sort of way, or any sport, whether it be boxing, whether it be football, whether it be ice skating, any sort of sport. If it involves a group of people to just have fun, it's.
Try skiing.
You know, I don't like the cold. I've always wanted to ski, but I just hate the cold.
It's like so hard to get a group of black people together. If you can manage it, it's so good. It's so good because it's so.
Is it cold? Is it cold?
No. By the time you finish, like the first day I'm there, I've come fully loaded. I've got the thermal, then the t-shirt, then the other thermal, then the jacket, then the neck warmer, then the hat. But at the second day, I'm going there in a t-shirt and a jacket, and I'm nice.
Okay, no, everyone's been telling me to go, but I'm not too sure. But I would say Yeah, sports and thing. What would you say yours would be?
Definitely traveling. I love to travel, and it's a weird one, but I like to sit in silence in my living room.
Wow. What, like,
Yeah, literally.
for how long for?
It could be hours.
Hours.
No TV, no nothing. Just in my living room, just sitting there.
I can't do that. But random ones. Do you do when you go home and you're sitting outside the house? You just sit in the car.
It's I don't know. There's something like peaceful about that. You just you know you can go in, but you just need a moment, and you just start doing. Yeah, you just.
Walking off the car looking like you're crazy. So Kaz, I remember you saying that if you weren't into property, you probably would have been a gamer.
Locked in.
I'm so sorry that you didn't get to be a gamer, but we do have a game for you today.
No, this one, yeah, I'm actually thinking you might be actually good at this one. But the game we're going to be playing today is called Guess the House Prices. No pressure at all. So we have about 6 or 7 houses that we're going to flash across the screen. You do have clues to help you. You have about 3 clues. In the clues are in my hand, and then if you don't know it or you want to give up, you just pass it on, and then we go on and so forth. And let's see how many you can get out of 7. Right? So cool. Ray, do you want to start? You want to start this year? So the first house. Yeah.
Okay, see the front? Yeah, let me.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Am I gonna get a location?
Okay. Location, yeah. Give him a location.
Okay, it's in Harrow.
That's your first clue.
Okay.
It was. If you need another clue.
You need another image.
Okay, so recently, refurbished, tidy carpets, little basic white things. So.
Next clue.
Okay, no, bathroom's tidy. Do we know how many bedrooms it is, or we just saying?
Can I give him a
Yeah, of course you can.
4 bedrooms, 2 baths, and 2 receptions.
Ooh. That's Harrow. That's about between 6 and 700,000.
Was he right?
650.
No, nah, you're lying. Okay, cool. That's the first one. All right, cool. Let's go with the second one.
Okay, it's a nice, like modern build. I don't love the mixture of the wood cladding with the brickwork, but all the balcony at the front. To be honest, I'd rather that be at the rear of the property, some privacy. But it's a tidy house.
Okay, give him a clue. Location.
Chelmsford.
Okay. Chelmsford, yeah, it's like it's new. It's a new house. New always commands a premium.
Okay.
It's like, what is it? 5 beds.
He knows this.
Jeezy, what you got on point?
5 beds.
Nah.
3 baths.
Wait, I'm actually.
3 receptions.
Okay.
Chelmsford, I'm a London developer, so I'm gonna
Have a guess on this
take
one.
a punt on this one. Chelmsford, where's that, Essex?
Yeah.
Essex, but D for
5 bed, 3 baths, 3 receptions.
950,000.
Is he close?
Not bad. He starts 860.
No, you know what? Yeah, I'll kind of give you that one because you're very close. I'll say.
Because you said you're a London developer.
Yeah. No, I'll give you that one.
I can understand it. I'm putting out the asking price. You're telling me what it's worth. So.
Okay. I see what he's doing there. Trying to find a little loophole.
Right, cool. Number 3, right?
Yeah.
Okie doke.
Okay, so you got a detached house. Seems got a detached garage with it as well. No entrance, nice front drive. Still close proximity to other properties, but it's a nice loan.
Where's the location?
Kenley.
Kenley. Okay.
Kenley's nice.
Kenley is nice.
Sort of borders of South London going into Surrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 4 bed, 2 baths, 3 receptions, and it's a detached house, so he was right on that. What do you reckon?
Nice interior features. Kenley detached.
4 bed, 2 baths, 3 receptions.
That private. Oh, okay. It's not at. I'm going 800.
What's that? What's the price on
A
that?
milli.
Oh, this one's the one you.
You know what
Why would you say this one's a million?
Because it's like, if you look at the footprint of the building, it's detached, but it's still got stuff in close proximity to it. You don't really get that feeling of privacy. Like,
Yeah.
when you're in a detached home, you want to feel like I kind of got my castle. I've got my
Yeah.
land. It's still a bit enclosed. Like, you can see
There's another house
fence
next to
line,
it.
The gardens next to it, but it's still so nice.
No, that's close though. That's close. We'll give you about see, 2.5 out of 4, right? Is that 4 or 3?
You're right.
3. All right, cool. We'll go on the next one. The next property. So this is a flat. Yeah, I'll go straight 1 bedroom flat. Yeah, I'll get next picture to help. 1 bath as well.
Nice, modern.
I would say it's about 570 square footage.
Okay, yeah, pretty typical. Like in terms of when you're building new builds, they build at
Yeah.
minimum size standards. We got location.
Location in East London,
East London.
Waltham Forest. To be exact.
Do you know why this one's so hard? Because these are the kind of things, particularly as new builds, with the market going, with Help to Buy ending, they've taken a mad hit on prices recently.
Ah. Okay, last clue. It's a leasehold.
Yeah, leasehold, I mean flat.
Most flats are leasehold.
Almost all
Lease,
flats
yeah.
are leasehold or flat freehold. Cool. 350.
I would say you're off about 435. 435. So we're still at 2 out of 4. We're still on 2 out of 4.
I'll tell you what right now,
Yeah.
If you pay 435 for that, you're done. That is the price you can take away.
Nah, cool. Nah, it is 435 is a lot of money for that kind of flat.
Whoever lives there, it's not watching.
I know. All right, next one. So we've got this. This is in Hanwell, West.
I like it. It's sort of like 1930s old in terms of construction. Nice semi-detached property.
Oh, you know the
Place
year.
at the front.
Yeah, it's mad.
Nice house.
It's a 3 bed,
3 bed, nice
1
driveway.
bath.
Where's Hamworth?
Hanwell, yeah.
Where's
Hanwell in
you know
West
West London.
London.
Where in West London? Good West London. Is it good?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
good.
okay,
Yeah.
Good. Can we see that first picture again? Can we go back? Is that possible? Do you know what it is? That's something we call curb appeal. It's got a nice front. If you look at that, you say, no, I mean, this is a nice.
Are you talking about the fences there? You
It's
mean
like,
curb
even
appeal?
like the fence is nice. They got the linear panel fencing. They got a nice Canuck shaker, traditional door. Like sort of, it's almost double fronted with a little side extension on the side. So
You know, yeah. When this picture was coming up, all these things you're mentioning, I wasn't even.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the house.
but you know, it's like you have to think like when you're buying something, it's curb appeal. You look at it and it's like, if you look at something and you're put off straight away, it's very hard to rebuild it back up.
Okay.
Was it 3 bed, you said, yeah?
No, it's a 3 bed and 1 bath. Yeah.
I feel like this is the one I'm gonna get the furthest off. 'Cause if it's by Ealing, Ealing's expensive, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 850.
Nah, it's about 950. 950.
Yeah, I was gonna say 900.
All right, cool. You got 2 more left.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get these ones. All right. So this is in North.
I'm gonna get killed in the comments with this game.
It's about.
But even let me my caveat, my excuse.
Yeah.
I said London, but every house but one that I've ever bought has been in South London.
Oh really?
So this is a good. It's a good.
Oh
test.
no, this is a good. But to be fair, even though you're not getting the prices right, you're getting other informations correct.
Like he said 1930.
Yeah, you're getting other information correct. What about this? What are you thinking?
I like it's very very typical. I like the fact that it's got a bay. I like houses with character. So when you look at it, it's not just sometimes like more out of London, sort of Liverpool, you get the houses just your front doors on the high street.
Yeah.
So it's got the front.
Yeah.
Front garden.
2 bed,
Yeah.
1 bath, 1 reception area.
Was it 2 bed? Wait, a flat or a house?
It's a flat.
Okay.
and it has a share of freehold, if that helps.
In what area?
It's in North, Thornhill Road, if I'm N22. I'm not too sure where that is exactly.
N22.
Yeah.
N22, ain't that Tottenham?
I think it might be.
N17, right?
I'm not too sure what postcode. Does anybody know where N22 is? No?
Get some help.
Ain't that wood green?
This is my ask the audience.
Ain't that wood green?
All right, cool.
Further out.
Harrogate.
2 beds, 1 bar.
1 bath, 1 reception.
Victorian conversion. Ground floor masonette. Probably garden. 450.
Bloody heck. I think we should stop this game at this point. He's just what's on the point now. This one, yeah, because you've been getting it. If you get this one, I'll do 50 push-ups now. If you get this one, 50 push-ups. Yeah. No pressure, yeah. No pressure.
Oh, wow.
If you get this one, 50 push-ups. So this is still in London, your area. It has about 8 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 5 receptions.
This is probably his house.
And it's about a 5,585 square footage. If you get this one, I promise you, I'll do
I need area though. Where
area Avenue Road NW8.
Can we get that? What's NW8? That's a good area. That's a good area.
NW8's either Hendon, Cricklewood,
It's round.
around Brent Cross.
Yeah,
Was that right?
yeah.
Where are we? Where's NW8? Log me in.
Regent's Park.
Brent Cross?
Right next to London Zoo.
Yeah.
Regent's
Oh,
Park.
get out of here.
Regent's
We just, yeah. If you get it, I'll do 50 push-ups. I don't think.
Same Regent's
8
Park.
beds.
8
Regent's Park.
Yeah, St. John's Wood Regent's Park. NWA.
8 bed, 3 baths, 5 receptions. If you get this house price, because when I saw that the price in this house, I was thinking, no way.
8 beds, Regent's Park. 22.5 million.
You know what? You are close though. You are close. Try again.
Harrow Law.
You're warmish-ish. You're warmish. 2 more tries. 2 more tries. Listen, I can walk on. I don't mind if you get it wrong. I don't do 50 push-ups. So.
Do you know what? It's the area. See, that area is so important because you could put this house in Croydon,
Yeah.
and it's worth 3 million tops.
Yeah.
The fact that it's in Regent's boosters it.
There, detached with that much space. 28.
No. One more go.
30.
30. I would say though, disclaimer. There was help in it from the crew. Do you get what I mean? You know that VAR in it. There was a bit offside. There was technicalities, but I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna do the 50 push-ups. Who's counting?
Straight or do you get pauses or you do?
We just do it straight.
One take?
Yeah, one take.
Wow. Okay.
One hand, spider. We'll do it. 2 hands.
One take here. Let's forfeit. Alright, cool.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
How you doing down there, mate?
I'm alright, mate. How you doing up there? Yeah, we're good.
1.
Yep.
7 times 8.
7 times 8, I wasn't really good at maths, mate. So, you know.
7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Man, of his word.
I gave you. Nah, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Learned some stuff as well about them house prices. Nah, thank you.
I'm still not over the fact he knows the age. 1930.
Mate,
Crazy.
Someone called the ambulance. That was a. Well, thank you so much, but learned some stuff as well. We got you something, but when we see you on the next stuff.
When you two do your...
Oh yes, I can give it to you then.
Just training for it.
Yeah, you know what? This is what I'm saying. I mean, you should be scared right now. So when you message me saying, you know what, I'm not on it. when you message me saying I'm not on it, then we can go.
No, I definitely enjoyed myself. What about you on it?
It's been amazing conversation with Kazy. Amazing.
No, it really has. I know I've definitely been educated. I've had a good time, and there's so many gems to take away from the show. I just want to say thank you, Kaz, for coming on.
We appreciate it. I just want to say this though before it goes. Kazy was talking crap behind the scenes about he can beat me in free sports. So this is what we're gonna do. I need to wipe your ass at badminton. I appreciate you coming down, but I'm still gonna wipe your ass at badminton. So hopefully you guys can see who he said free sports. He can beat me at any sport. So we'll see what happens.
So we've got confirmation what the free sports are.
We got badminton, 100 meters, and
Confirmed.
pool. Is it pool? Yeah, cool. Let's do that. No, but we appreciate you for coming down. Thank you so much. Yeah, and hopefully maybe anyone watching the show can gain some knowledge or something from Kazy's experience and journey, and then maybe you can add it to your own life, and maybe it can help you in your aspects. Thank you very much.
I know telling people how you feel can often seem like a burden, but there's absolutely no shame in getting help if you feel like you're hurting. And yes, we all have our personal battles, but by ourselves, we don't need to have a war about it. You'd be surprised at how many people will come and join you on the front line, ready to support. You just have to talk about it. In a safe space, we can conversate, educate, and